Episode 2, Whispers Beyond the Feather. Elara sat upright in bed, the feather still warm in her hand. It shimmered faintly, glowing with an inner light, soft as moonshine, and strangely real asterisk. She rubbed her eyes and looked again. No, it hadn't vanished. She hadn't imagined it. She hadn't imagined any of it. Heart still pounding, Elara stood and moved to the window. Windmere looked exactly as it should. Quiet streets, sleepy chimneys, the bakery across the road dark for the night. But her mind buzzed with questions. Who was the boy? What were the hollow ones? How had she entered someone else's dream? And why had she brought something back? The feather pulsed softly, as if listening to her thoughts. She placed it on the desk beside her bed and reached for her dream journal. But before she could write a word, the feather twitched. A small gust of wind swept through the room. Though the window was shut, Elara stepped back. Then it spoke, not aloud, but in her mind. A voice, gentle but urgent.
You crossed the threshold, the dream realm remembers. Elara's skin prickled. Who are you? She whispered. The voice didn't answer. Instead, images poured into her mind, flashes of towering cities made of glass and mist, staircases twisted into stars, creatures made of laughter, fire, and sorrow, and at the center of it all a great tree. Its roots dangled in both dreams and waking life. She gasped, stumbling back. It was no ordinary dream. She had entered the dreaming, a hidden plane between sleep and memory, shaped by emotion, guarded by ancient laws. And somehow she had broken one. The feather darkened slightly as if warning her. Suddenly, a knock echoed at her window.
Startled, she turned and saw a figure standing on the roof across the alley, cloaked in gray, face hidden under a hood. The figure raised a hand, not in greeting but beckoning. Another gust of wind blew through her room, scattering pages of her journal. The feather rose, hovering midair, then drifted to the window and melted into the glass, forming a glowing symbol, a crescent within a circle. The window opened itself. Elara didn't move. She was just a baker's daughter. She had never even left Windmere, but something deep inside, an itch, a pull, a truth, told her this wasn't a mistake. She had been chosen. Trembling, she stepped to the window. The cloaked figure remained still. She climbed out. The night air was cold, but she barely felt it. The rooftop was damp with dew. The figure turned and began walking. Elara followed. No words were spoken. They crossed rooftops, leapt gaps too wide for common folk, and at last reached the old clock tower. Abandoned for years, its hands frozen at midnight, the figure stopped at the base and finally turned. You've touched the dreaming, a woman's voice said from under the hood. That world doesn't forget, and neither do its enemies. She pulled back the hood. Her eyes shimmered like polished silver. Her skin looked like moonstone, not fully